Shalom. Want to give all the praise, all the glory, all the honor unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakah Kodash. Double honors goes out to the other apostles of Greg Millstone for teaching me the truth. Also want to acknowledge all the Akyam who are pushing the truth with sincerity throughout the four corners of the earth. And shalom to the elect of the nation of Israel. Alright, this is Shabai from the GMS Denver, camp in Denver. Today I'm going to go in through the Spirit in Exodus 17. We're coming in on the last couple of days here, the Passover week, the week of unleavened bread. So, figured I would just stick with Exodus for my lesson. And, just do through the Spirit, Exodus 17 we'll read. And so, let's actually let me go ahead and read it without further ado. It says, let's see. We'll read it at the top. It says, "And all the congregation of the children of Israel journeyed from the wilderness of Sin after their journeys, according to the commandment of Yahweh, and pitched in Rephidim, and there was no water for the people to drink." So you can understand the 2/3, of Israel they were already complaining and murmuring. If you read chapter 16, the Lord had fed the children of Israel in the wilderness with quails, the bird quails, which quails is pretty good. When you eat it, it's similar to chicken. And, the children of Israel were, complaining and murmuring, and Yahweh fed them in the wilderness. Let me actually grab that account real quick in Exodus 16, and I'll go to 7. It says, "And in the morning then ye shall see that the glory of Yahweh, for he that heareth your murmurings against Yahweh. And what are we that ye murmur against us? And Moses said, This shall be when Yahweh shall give you in the evening flesh to eat, and in the morning bread to the full. For that Yahweh heareth your murmurings which you murmur against him. And what are we? Your murmurings are not against us, but against Yahweh." You see? And so it's the same thing that we tell the Israelites now. When you guys complain against us, you're not complaining against us. You're complaining against Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. So, if you have a problem with his men, you really don't have a problem with us. You have a problem with him. And he's going to have a problem with you. And the thing is you when you're coming in that spirit of, complaining, murmuring, not believing the Lord's servants, at the end of the day, you're cursing yourself, because you're coming against Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai, because we're not using our own words with this doctrine, and anybody for that matter. Obviously, the heathen are not going to be, they're not going to believe the truth. They're not going to believe the report, because it condemns them. But it also condemns 2/3 of our own people, and all those people that are not part of the elect. Hey, you're going to be, you're just, your beef is with Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai, and not with their men. So let's read 17. "And all the congregation of the children of Israel," let's read verse 2. Well, the last part of verse 1, it says, "And there was no water for the people to drink. Wherefore the people did chide with Moses, and said, Give us water that we may drink. And Moses said unto them, Why chide ye with me? Wherefore do you tempt Yahweh? And the people thirsted there for water, and the people murmured against Moses, and said, Wherefore is this that thou hast brought us out of Egypt, to kill us and our children and our cattle with thirst?" Because, you remember the 2/3, they don't got faith, man. And it's going to be the same thing when Jacob trouble comes, The ones who don't take the CHIP, and they're going to start complaining, and, they're going to be like, yo, you guys told us not to take the CHIP, and now here we are. We can't buy groceries. We're starving. We're thirsty. They're going to be in the same complaining, bitching, belly aching, bickering, murmuring spirit, Verse 4, "And Moses cried unto Yahweh, saying, What shall I do unto this people? They be almost ready to stone me." That's how it's going to be. Our own people are going to want to kill us. It says, "And Yahweh said unto Moses, Go on before the people, and take with thee of the elders of Israel, and thy rod wherewith thou smotest the river, take in thine hand, and go. Behold, I will stand before thee. Behold, I will stand before thee there upon the rock of Horeb, and thou shalt smite the rock, and there shall come water out of it, and that the people may drink. And Moses did so in the sight of the elders of Israel. And he called the name of the place Massah and Meribah, because the chiding of the children of Israel, and because they tempted Yahweh, saying, Is Yahweh among us or not?" Right? So again, we expect, during the time of Jacob's trouble, when the food is scarce, there's going to be a famine on the land of Babylon. We expect the same type of things to happen, because we know that everything is, repeated, and there's no new thing under the sun. We expect the 2/3. We already know they're going to be complaining and wanting to kill us, and the ones who don't believe this knowledge, this truth, you're going to be hating the prophets, especially if you try to listen at first and then you end up breaking, like the example I said earlier. If you don't take that CHIP, the mark, you're going to turn around and you're going to be mad at the prophets, which at the end of the day, again, you're mad at Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, It says, "And Moses said unto Joshua," excuse me, "Choose us out men and go out fight." Wait, where did I go? Skip one. Oh yeah. "Choose us out men and go out fight with Amalek. Tomorrow I will stand on the top of the hill with the rod of the Most High in my hand." So Joshua did as Moses had said to him. He fought with Amalek. And the thing is, I didn't really make the point, but let me see. Where's it at? Well, I didn't make the point, but back in verse 6, it says, "Behold, I will stand before thee there upon the rock in Horeb, and thou shalt smite the rock, and there shall come water out of it, that the people may drink. And Moses did so in the sight of the elders of Israel." All right, so Moses did that. He got the Israelites water out of the rock after he hit the rock, and the water came out. And, it's a miracle, right? And it's because Moses had the faith. He was listening to Yahweh. All right? You're going to have a lot of people, that don't listen to Yahweh, of our own people, that are gonna, they're gonna be, like I said, complaining, murmuring. They're gonna want to kill the prophets. Because they're gonna look at it the same way the Israelites were looking at it during Exodus, during the time of Exodus, when Moses was leading, the people. The prophet Moses, right? The people are always mad at the prophets, man. We basically did a lesson last night, and we was going in on that. How the overall people, they're offended. They're they come against the prophets continually, perpetually. And at the end of the day, like we read earlier, you're coming against Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. When you come up against his men, you're literally coming up against Yahweh. And if you're wise, you'll consider that, and you get out that spirit. You should learn to, just basically listen to the prophets, because the prophets are, God's men. And we have his prophecies. We have his word. We have the understanding. And, the elect are going to be the ones who are able to listen. So verse, and the thing is we know that there's miracles done by men in the scriptures. Yahweh Shai would perform miracles, just like Moses performed a miracle, right? And we know that men are going to perform miracles, and the men are going to perform those miracles. And you're going to need Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai and those men that believe in Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai to the point where they're going to get spiritual powers and have the ability to perform miracles. Because we know in Jacob's trouble, man, we're going to need divine intervention to help us get through that, to help us endure. And part of that divine intervention is going to be dealing with miracles that his men are going to be able to perform in the sight of men. All right, we'll go to John 14:12. Yahweh Shai said it himself. He said, "Verily, verily, I say unto you, he that believeth on me, the works that I do shall he do also, and greater works than these shall he do, because I go unto my Father. And whatsoever ye shall ask in my name, that will I do, and that the Father may be glorified in the Son. If ye shall ask anything in my name, I will do it." You see? If ye love me, keep the commandments. All right? So, first of all, we got to be obedient to the commandments. And then we have to have that faith and keep enduring, keep pushing, keep teaching while we can, still teach. And eventually, like I say, during Jacob's trouble, the men of the Lord are going to get spiritual powers, and we're going to be able to do works that would be deemed as and considered as miracles. Because he says, he that believeth on me, the works that I do shall he do also, and greater works than these shall he do, because I go unto my Father. And you got to remember, Yahweh Shai, he was bringing people back from that died. He was bringing their spirit back. You see? So men, what you consider common men, what you consider, just some of y'all don't even consider us, you consider us bums, man. You think we're men wasting our time. What's that in Wisdom of Solomon 5? It says that you make no account of our labor, right? Wisdom of Solomon 5:1. Then shall the righteous man stand in great boldness before the face of such as have afflicted him and made no account of his labors. You see? So you guys don't make no account of our labors. A majority of the people don't believe that we're the men of Yahweh, and you don't believe in these spiritual powers that Yahweh has promised the men of Israel, the leadership of Israel, which are the elect men, So let's go back to Exodus 17, and where am I at? 9. And Moses said unto Joshua, "Choose us out men and go to fight with Amalek." Amalek are the fake Jews today. the ones, the Edomites that are calling themselves Jews, that's the tribe of Amalek. He's a grandson of Esau. Tomorrow I will stand on the top of the hill with the rod of the Most High in my hand. So Joshua did as Moses had said to him, and fought with Amalek. And Moses, Aaron, and Hur went up to the top of the hill. And it came to pass when Moses held up his hand that Israel prevailed, and when he let down his hand, Amalek prevailed. So they were having a battle on the battlefield, and Moses was literally on the on the top of that hill. And let's read. And every time he had his hands up, Israel was winning the battle. But whenever his hand was not up, when his hand was let down, then Amalek would overtake the Israelites in that battle. So that's a miracle, right? Let's keep reading. But verse 12. But Moses' hands were heavy, and they took a stone and put it under him, and he sat thereon, and Aaron and Hur stayed up his hands, the one on one side and on the other side. And his hands were steady until the going down of the sun. So they literally were helping him hold his hands up, because they knew and they could recognize that Israel was winning the battle when Moses' hands were up. Which this is a miracle, right? And it's a spiritual divine intervention that Yahweh is using a man in the flesh for this miracle to be performed, you see. And he's going to do that again. Yahweh's going to use his men to perform miracles in these last days. When the great trouble, the great wrath of Esau, which is going to be allowed, he's allowed to have that wrath because Yahweh has given him that power, He's given Esau the power to bring wrath upon us, Israelites, But the thing is that, hey, there's going to be divine intervention, and it's going to start out with the men of the Lord. All right? So let's read 13. And Joshua discomfited Amalek and his people with the edge of the sword. And Yahweh said unto Moses, write this for a memorial in a book, and rehearse it in the ears of Joshua, for I will utterly put out the remembrance of Amalek from under heaven. And Moses built an altar and called the name of it it would have been said Yahweh Nisi. For he said, because Yahweh has sworn that Yahweh will have war with Amalek from generation to generation. All right? So it wouldn't have said Jehovah Nisi, it would say Yahweh Nisi. All right? Because you had the true names written on those altars. There wasn't no Jehovah. There was no J until the 1500s. Hebrew doesn't have the sound or the letter J. All right? So that's, when you read these scriptures, you got to have that discernment, the spirit to discern and call it and read it like it really is supposed to be. You got to remember the enemy printed these Bibles and created these apps, because I'm doing this lesson on an app. But it would have said Yahweh Nisi. All right. So actually, I'm gonna go into that real quick. Let's see. Let's see what that word Nisi means. Okay. So it means Yahweh is my banner. And it says, the name given by Moses to the altar which he built in commemoration of the discomfiture of the Amalekites. Okay. And remember, we read that, in verse 14, let's read that one again. And Yahweh said unto Moses, write this for a memorial in a book, and rehearse it in the ears of Joshua, and for I will utterly put out the remembrance of Amalek from under heaven. And that didn't happen that day, just so you know. Okay? Because Amalek is still here today. It tells you in Ecclesiastes, it might be 5 maybe. Let's see. It might be Ecclesiastes 1. Let me look it up. Okay, Ecclesiastes 4:16. It says, "There is no end of all the people, even all that have been before them. They also that come after shall not rejoice in him. Surely this also is vanity and vexation of spirit." So the point being, there's no end of all people. So right now, the Amalek is still around. So that utterly, the put out the remembrance of Amalek. That's, people still talk about Amalek. So that's not going to happen until he gets Obadiah at 18. Because really quick, through the Spirit, I'll grab Genesis 36, and then we'll go to, I think 6, around there. It says in verse 9, "And these are the generations of Esau, the father of the Edomites in Mount Seir. These are the names of Esau's sons: Eliphaz, the son of Adah, the wife of Esau; Reuel, the son of Bashameth, the wife of Esau. The sons of Eliphaz were Teman, Omar, Zepho, and Gatam, and Kenaz." Let me see. Okay, let's jump down to 16. It says, "The Duke Korah," remember, this is Esau, Edom, the so-called white man's genealogy and his seed line. Verse 16, it says, "Duke Korah, Duke Gatam, the Duke of Amalek." Wait, did I skip one? All right, here we go. Yeah, I should have read. Okay, well, anyway, it says in verse 11, "The sons of Eliphaz were Teman, Omar, Zepho, Gatam, Kenaz, and Timnah was concubine to Eliphaz, Esau's son, and she bare to Eliphaz Amalek. These were the sons of Adah, Esau's wife. So that was his basically his grandson. Let me see, Eliphaz's son, and she bare to Eliphaz. Yeah, it was Eliphaz's son. Eliphaz is Esau's son. Amalek is Eliphaz's son, which would have made Esau like basically the grandfather of Amalek. All right, so that's his seed. So I just wanted to show you that's Esau and Amalek, how they're related, And then we'll go to Obadiah 1:18. Let's see. It says, "And the house of Jacob shall be a fire, and the house of Joseph a flame, and the house of Esau for stubble. And they shall kindle in them and devour them, and there shall not be any remaining of the house of Esau, for Yahweh hath spoken it." Remember, Amalek is the house of Esau, right? And we had read out verse 14 at 17:14 in Exodus, "I will utterly put out the remembrance of Amalek from under heaven." So that's going to happen when this happens, because Esau is going to be in the kingdom for 1,000 years under hard labor, including his the Amalekites. For sure, the Amalekites are going to be in slavery, for hardcore bondage, 1,000 years in the kingdom. So, just wanted to go in on a lesson. I got to get ready for go to the plantation. But I wanted to get a lesson out of Exodus, because we've been, decreed to read Exodus this week. And, I listened to it at the beginning of the week, and now I'm reading. I'm going to go ahead and read, and read Exodus. And I might, put the video on with the words just to make it go a little smoother and faster. But you do get a better, it sticks with you better when you actually just read it out the book. So anyway, lesson on the miracles, that we're going to perform, the miracles that Moses performed in the Exodus. the water, so that the Israelites could drink water because they were thirsty and complaining. And, just to put us in the right mindset, because we're going to be dealing with the same thing. The men of Yahweh, Bashem, Yahushai, are going to be dealing with the same thing. You're going to have Israelites that are going to get mad, start murmuring because they don't have all their provisions, they don't have their victuals. Because Egypt's going to shut down on them, and especially if you don't have that micro C-hip, you ain't going to have the ability to go to the store and get your, get some bare necessities, as they say, right? So, with that, I'm going to give all the praise, all the glory, all the honor unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakah, Kodash. Double honors goes out to the elder apostles of Great Millstone for teaching me the truth. Also want to acknowledge Alakiam, who are pushing the truth with sincerity throughout the four corners of the earth. Shalom to the elect.